podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Network on Saturday, February 6th, 2021. This is episode 1768. Enjoy. This episode of the Tech Guy is brought to you by Expressvpn. Stop handing over your personal data to big tech. Protect yourself with the VPN I use to keep me safe online. For 3 extra months free with a 1-year package, go to expressvpn.com/techguy. And by Simply Safe. Get simple, professional monitoring day and night. Right now, get a free home security camera when you purchase a Simply Safe system at simplysafe.com/twit. You'll also get a 60-day risk-free trial. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here. I am the Tech Guy. It's time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography, smartphones, smartwatches, all that jazz. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. If you want to call and talk high tech, I'm here for you. I'm your Tech Guy. That's what we talk about here. All the gizmos and gadgets in our lives that are never work, and pretty soon you're going to have to reboot your microwave, your car, your refrigerator, and all that. Kind of have to sometimes. I had to reboot my Tesla when I had a Tesla every once in a while. There's a 3-finger salute on the Tesla that you hold everything down. I mean, the car still works. You could do it while you're driving, but the screen resets the screen and it goes black. And then, yeah, it's not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling. When you make a car that works like a computer, there's some pros, but there are a lot of cons, like having to reboot it. That's not necessarily so good. Nevada has announced a plan to launch innovation zones in Nevada to jumpstart the state's economy by attracting technology firms and very attractive. This is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal this week. The zones would let companies with large areas of land, and there's a lot of it in Nevada because it's mostly desert, form governments carrying the same authority as counties, including the ability to impose taxes, form school districts, courts. Yes, the Google court I have jury duty with the Google court, and provide government services. It hasn't been introduced to the legislature, but the government pitched it. The governor pitched it, Sisolak. Steve pitched it at his State of the State address. It would bring new business to the forefront of groundbreaking technologies without the use of tax abatements or other publicly funded incentive packages. That's how they get companies like Tesla to build factories in Nevada, like the Gigafactory, the battery factory. You give them tax breaks. That's the traditional way. Now you give them a court and the ability to tax. It's the county. I'm in Tesla County. Yep. The Sheriff Elon is... Wow. Now, here's a good one. A company called Blockchains LLC. See, right there, that's a scary name. Blockchains LLC is one of the companies that wants to move in. They want to build a smart city in an area east of Reno. I'd like to live in a smart city, but I'm a little nervous about the traditional local government model is inadequate alone, says Governor Sisolak, to provide the resources to make Nevada a leader in attracting and retaining businesses. So, Larry Page, the founder of Google, gave a very weird and odd speech at one of the big Google conferences some years back, in which he said, I wish we had an island. If we only had Google Island where the regulators weren't slowing us down and making it hard for us to do the right thing. Would you want to live in Facebook land? I guess in a way that's kind of what, Disney has some talent, but I don't think they have courts and the right to tax. That's kind of interesting. Update your Chrome 0-day vulnerability. Bad thing. Being exploited in the wild. Google found out about this let's see, January 24th. What was that? 7 plus 3, almost 2 weeks ago. And they're now putting out a new version of Chrome. The nice thing about these browsers these days, they update automatically. You don't have to really think about it, but still, this is a good thing. It's a good thing. This is what you want. Let's see what other tech news. Huawei, which isn't this is the company, the Chinese company that the president kind of wanted to ban. I think they did ban. At least U.S. companies can't deal with Huawei. Huawei's the number one phone manufacturer in the world. They sell a lot of phones in China. And the thing that the U.S. government is worried about, probably rightly so, was that they also were the biggest manufacturer of 5G equipment. And everybody all over the world was putting in Huawei 5G equipment, which made, I think, people a little bit nervous. So, Huawei's done some bad things. The latest isn't that bad, but it's interesting. It's something that make you want to think about what you see on. You use Twitter. Huawei created at last count, 14 different Twitter accounts. Fake accounts pretending to be respected telecommunications experts, writers, academics. The goal, it was all aimed at Belgium, little old Belgium, which wanted to keep Huawei out of their 5G networks. The bogus pro-Huawei accounts used computer-generated profile pictures, so they looked real. And then they retweeted, they amplified stuff from real Huawei executives. And probably Twitter has some rule against it, but it doesn't mean they enforce it or they're able to even enforce it. U.S. companies have done this too. It's not unheard of. In fact, there's a lot of evidence. The FCC did it when they were trying to repeal net neutrality. They made up fake people on their comments saying, yeah, this is a great idea. I love this idea, even though it wasn't real. Wow. So just, I guess consider, who uses Twitter anymore, really? No, I don't. Twitter is a hive of villainy and scum. What else? 23andMe's going public with a SPAC, which isn't exactly the same as, on the stock market. This is with the help of Richard Branson of Virgin Atlantic. The Virgin Group, which now owns hundreds of companies, will be investing. SPACs have become a popular vehicle for companies to go public. Once the deal is closed, the ticker symbol will be ME, me, and they're going to raise some money here. They expect to raise become worth $3.5 billion. That's the company. I've done ads for them. I submitted a spit sample to them many years ago when they first started, and then they tell you, oh yeah, you're Irish or something. It's a little sketch. It's not. It's sketch only because they're not really analyzing your genome. They're just statistically comparing it to other people whom they know to be Irish, and they say, "Well, you look Irish." It's kind of like looking at your nose and your hair and saying, "Yeah, you look Irish." They're going to raise a lot of money, though. They're going to raise a lot of money. 23andMe. It's a good business to be in. Actually, I got nothing against them. In fact, they emailed me last year, a couple of months ago, and they said, if you send us more spit, we will compare it with our new 5th generation chip. And I did that. Another $100 kind of down the tubes. It doesn't, they didn't tell me anything I didn't already know. Let's put it that way. Have you used Clubhouse? Speaking of hives of villainy and scum, have you used Clubhouse? This is all the rage right now. It's hard to describe what it is. I have iPhone only. It's worth $1 billion out of nowhere. You create a room. It's audio only. You can only hear it on your phone. You can't record it. You can't listen to it later. You just live. Other people come in the room. You can bring them up on stage. You can all talk at once. People can raise their hands. Only reason I mention it is last week Elon Musk stopped by. Did a couple of hours. 5,000 people flooded into the room, and then another 5,000, so they made an overflow room, and then another 5,000, so an overflow room for that overflow room. Very popular with the tech bros in Silicon Valley. And then last week, Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, showed up. Talked a little bit. Wow. And now it's all the buzz. It's all the buzz around. I spent some time. There's some good stuff on it. Of course, it's just, it's invite only right now. You can't, you got to know somebody, which always makes it, more popular, more interesting to people. I don't know. It's all the rage. That means it's probably dumb. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. Hey, let's get to the phones. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. The phones are full, it looks like. We got one more line, maybe. 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Outside that area, you can still call. Use Skype. There's a website. The website is techguylabs.com. I mentioned that, so you don't have to write anything down. It's all being written down for you by James DeRuvo or Scribe. Use that website if you heard something, you say, I want to know more, or what's the link for that, Leo? I put all the links up there. techguylabs.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I give you...
Too hot to trot.
I was just waiting for the...
I don't know this song.
You don't know this?
No.
Was this a Commodore's?
Oh, okay.
Come on, we couldn't play the other one, so we'll play this one. Kim Schaffer, ladies and gentlemen, our phone angel. She's too hot to trot.
Okay.
It's older Commodores. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Happy weekend.
Happy Groundhog Week.
Seems like
haven't we been having Groundhog Day for the last year?
Over and over, doesn't it?
It's just official this week.
Who should I start?
Let's go to Adam because he wants to talk a subject that I think you're going to be really excited about.
I'm excited. Oh, okay.
He's got one on order too.
Yeah. There's one across the street,
There is?
Yeah. I was sitting here doing one of the shows on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Looking out. I have a window in my office. Looking out my window, and there goes what. I looked at it. That's a Mach-E, and it turned into the parking lot across the street.
Is it still there?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'll look later.
I walked over after the show, and I took pictures of it and stuff. And then I sent a note to my Ford dealer saying, hey, I saw a Mach-E. Is mine here? He said, no, that wasn't yours. Thank you. No, it was somebody else's, Leo. Thank you, Kim. Hello, Adam. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. I have a question on software in cars.
Yes.
Mach-E specifically. So
yes.
More and more cars are basically turning into computers on wheels, right?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, the Tesla. Yeah, it's a computer on wheels. I had to reboot it once in a while.
Yeah. So I usually take the stance that you should never buy a product on the promise of future enhancements, right? You should buy it for what it has now because you never know.
That's smart.
Okay. So I know you ordered a Mustang Mach-E, the electric Mach-E Ford. So I'm looking to get one too. And I wanted to get your thoughts on car software and over-the-air updates that are promised for vehicles, because I was looking at the Mach-E and noticed just the other day Ford announced that partnership with Google to put their operating system in vehicles in a couple of years. And it got me thinking, what do you think that means for this year's or even next year's?
Means nothing for the current Mach-E. Yeah, because the current Mach-E is based on a real-time operating system called QNX from, believe it or not, BlackBerry. The folks who made the phone, They make the operating system. Before that, Ford used Microsoft's car platform. And yeah, they have announced that they're going to start using Google's Android for cars. And there's a Google Android for cars. But I don't think that would be brain surgery. I suppose they could do it, but I don't see any reason they'd do. So here's one of the problems that you have. The development for timeline for cars is years, isn't it? You know, it used to be 5 years. The Mach-E, they took 3 years. They rushed it. This is Ford's new electric vehicle, and their first really serious electric vehicle. They've done others, but they call those compliance cars. They do those to meet federal and state emissions requirements, and they didn't have their heart in those apparently, but they have everybody's doing it. Everybody's making. GM, you'll see this on the Super Bowl tomorrow, is basically announcing all our cars are going to be electric for the future. This is it, that we're going all electric. And so I think you're going to see all the big three do that. And it's interesting because the car timeline is so long and software and computer timeline is not, right? Software gets updated. So it's a tricky thing to do. One of the criticisms of Tesla, and I had a Model X for 3 years. I really liked it. But one of the criticisms is that the Tesla's model is more like a software company. You release, it's got bugs, you iterate, you improve, you update. And I would get updates every few weeks on my Tesla, just automatically updates. And things would change all the time, and they had Easter eggs in them. There were funny little things they would put in there, just like software. And just like software, there were occasional bugs and weirdnesses and things which they would promptly fix or update. I don't think Ford, being a traditional mainline car maker, is going to go that far. So one of the things they promised is not full self-driving, but some more self-driving this summer for a fee. They've already built in, as you'll see when you get your Mach-E, there's a camera, just like Cadillac does this. There's a camera looking at your eyes. It's right over the hump on the steering wheel, in between that and the display. And that camera is watching whether you're paying attention to the road. Now, the way Tesla does it, you have to kind of torque the wheel a little bit. It's got a little torque sensor in the wheel. And if it's not even looking to see if your hands are in the wheel, you actually have to move the wheel a little bit, and then it goes, okay. And many's the time my Tesla would yell at me and say, "You are not paying attention. You can't use self-driving until tomorrow." Literally. It would scold me. The alarm would go off, big sign. Nope, you're not paying attention. I'm saying, I am. I just didn't move. I'm paying attention. I really am, because I didn't trust the thing. I really was. Ford now will I've tried the Cadillac, same thing. The Cadillac, it was hard to do. I'm going down the highway, test driving it, and I had to cover my eyes before it would beep at me and yell at me. But I couldn't bring myself to do that. I didn't trust it enough, so I was peeking through my fingers. But I got it to go off, and it shakes the seat, and it beeps at you and says, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." I don't know what the Mach-E will do. I think that Ford is one of the reasons I got rid of the Tesla and I'm buying a Ford is because I think they're more of a traditional car maker, and I think they'll err more on the side of car than software. But they do plan updates. We'll see. I mean, not enough people have this yet. When are you getting yours?
Oh, not for a couple months.
Yeah, I ordered it. Tell you how dumb I am. I ordered it in November 2019. So I get mine in a week or two.
Oh.
I'll give you a more of a detailed review when I get one. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Well, I think you're going to like it. I did a lot of market research, and I talked a lot to our car guy Sam before I bought it, and he said, "Oh no, it's really going to be good. You're going to really like it." You've probably watched all the videos and read all the reviews as I have by now.
Oh yeah, did you buy or lease? I was wondering.
I'm going to lease. We always do that. It's a company car, so we always lease it.
Oh, okay. That's what made me worry when I heard that announcement with Google and Ford, is that, in 2-3 years, is the current Mach-E value going to plummet because it's running?
I wanted to buy it. My wife said, no, you're not. And she's smart. I leased the Tesla too. She said, these things are changing too rapidly.
Yeah.
I don't want you to commit to more than 3 years, a 3-year lease. She said, in 3 years, something else, like the Apple car will probably be out. Now that'll be a software first car, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is troubling because cars take so long to develop, and technology changes. That's why I kind of like the idea of CarPlay, Apple's iPhone to car interface, and Android Auto. because you can, and the Ford will do this, you can run that on top of, in addition to. So I just read a review in Ars Technica of the Mach-E. He said, I gave up on launching Waze, which is the built-in nav program on the Mach-E. It took forever. But Waze is built into your Android or Apple device. So you just use that, and it's fast and up to date, just like it is on your phone.
Yep. I'll tell you one thing before I'll let you. I'll go. I just wanted to say that wireless Android Auto is also a feature, and it's completely broken.
What?
It's completely broken in the Mach-E. Yeah.
No.
Ford is aware. The Mach-E forums are abuzz with angry people. It's completely broken in the F-150 and the Mach-E because they're both running Sync 4 or 4A.
And it doesn't work?
No, it's completely broken. And when you plug your phone into the cable, it reboots your phone.
Well, I will be using CarPlay. I hope that works a little bit better.
CarPlay is working flawlessly, so you're good. Yeah.
Is that what are you an Android guy or an iPhone guy?
Yeah, I just got the new S21, and it's running on Android 11 is the problem. Android 11 is broken.
See, that's a perfect example. The phone moves much faster than the car does.
Yep.
So I think, anybody who buys an electric vehicle these days is saying, I'm going to be a guinea pig. A little bit.
Agreed.
Yep. But it's worth it.
All right.
I love electric. We have a Chevy Bolt. Works fine. Very happy with it.
So do we. Love it.
Yeah, love it.
About it is great.
Yeah. And it's cheap.
Yep.
So, we'll see. But I don't want to drive a gas vehicle anymore. I really like driving electric vehicles. And we have solar panels, and we live in California, so it's a little different. When you're warm like where we are, I wouldn't want to do it back east where it's cold.
I agree. Yeah, we got solar, and we're EVs all the way. So I'm just trying to find a good EV that I know is going to, get software updates.
Well, Sam also says the Audi e-tron is going to be good, especially the new GT. That's going to be really pricey, though.
Yeah.
I think the Ford is a very good choice. Sam, when he drove it, he said, he sent me an email saying, you're going to effing flip your lid. He really liked it.
That's good. I still haven't even test driven one yet.
No, neither. That's the same. I bought a Tesla sight unseen too. I mean, it's that's part of the being on the bleeding edge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I'll talk about it when I get it. Of course, I probably ad nauseum. Good luck with yours. Which one did you get?
The first edition.
Yeah, me too. That's what's across the street. First edition and Grabber Blue is across the street. It's driving me nuts. Nice. I'm looking at it going.
Well, good luck.
All right. Thank you, Adam. See ya.
Thanks, bye.
Our show today brought to you by Expressvpn. That is, people are always asking me, what do you recommend for a VPN provider? And I invariably will say Expressvpn, our sponsor. There are three good reasons people would use a VPN. One is, of course, security. Your data is encrypted from your computer to the ExpressVPN servers. If you're at an open Wi-Fi access point, no one can see what you're doing. No one can hack your system. It's good for security. But even when you're at home, it's important. This is the second reason people use it, for privacy. Even if you're using incognito mode on your browser, you're not really private. Your internet service provider can see what you're doing. They know where you're going. If you want to protect yourself from your internet service provider or your mobile carrier, you want to use ExpressVPN. If you're doing a Google search, for instance, when you use ExpressVPN, Google doesn't see you. They see the ExpressVPN server. They don't know who you are based on your IP address. It hides your IP address. That's a great thing. It also means you can watch TV in other countries. I have a Netflix subscription in the U.S. Netflix doesn't have Doctor Who in the U.S., but it does in the U.K. I can go to London using ExpressVPN, and then I can watch Doctor Who in London. That's pretty cool. Or anime in Netflix Japan. That's the third reason, is it eliminates geographic restrictions. And ExpressVPN is the right one for all three of these because they respect your privacy, they protect you, they use a server technology called Trusted Server that means no one... What happens when you use ExpressVPN, you press the button on your phone, it works everywhere, on your computer, you can use it on your router. As soon as you turn it on, it spins up an ExpressVPN server running out of memory only. It's sandboxed. It cannot write to the hard drive. It lives only in RAM, and the minute you log out, it's gone. And so is every trace of your visit. That's truly no logging. And we know it does that for a couple of reasons. One, because they get regular audits by independent third parties, PricewaterhouseCoopers. So we know they said that's exactly what it does. They said the privacy policy, that's exactly what they do. So we know that. We also know, because occasionally in the news it comes up, some authoritarian country seizes ExpressVPN servers. There's nothing on it. They can't get anything from it because it can't write to the server. They never log traffic data. They never log DNS queries. They never log your searches or anything else that could be used to identify you. That's why it's the #1 VPN service. Not just me. CNET and Wired agree. It's easy to use. Put it on your device. Press the button. You're protected. Want to be in another country? Choose the country. You're there. You're protected. And by the way, ExpressVPN invests in their network. They have, I think they're in more than 90 countries, and they have a lot of bandwidth, so you don't feel a slowdown. You can watch HD video anywhere in the world. So stop handing your personal data over to your internet service provider or to Google or to any big tech company. Protect yourself with a VPN I use to keep me safe online. ExpressVPN. Go to expressvpn.com/techguy. You'll get 3 extra months free when you buy a 1-year plan. That's EXPRESS. Spell it out. expressvpn.com/techguy. Protect your online privacy, secure your traffic, watch TV anywhere in the world. expressvpn.com/techguy. We thank them so much for their support of the Tech Guy Show. Certainly do. Yes, I do. What is hip, ladies and gentlemen? No one knows. Well, if anybody knows what is hip, it's this guy right here, this cat, man. Scott Wilkinson, our home theater geek. He's all excited. The Puppy Bowl is tomorrow.
The Puppy Bowl is tomorrow. I can't wait. I wish they were doing it in 4K.
They're not even doing the Superb Owl in 4K. Why is that? They said it was too much. It was too much equipment to move or something like that.
Yeah, they said it had production limitations, quote unquote, due to COVID. And CBS, which is broadcasting this year, has less experience with 4K.
Scott, do me a favor, Scott. Turn off your video. Turn off your video. We're having trouble with the audio. And of course, it's a radio show. Nobody's watching.
Oh, man.
I know you're not wearing any pants, but no one else needs to know that. There we go. So what's weird is I just saw somebody.
Okay, where's my video?
What's weird is I just saw somebody say that they're going to use their 4K and even 8K cameras, but they're just not going to broadcast it that way. Or actually, they never broadcast 4K, but they stream it. Yeah, isn't that weird?
Right. That is weird, and they're not going to even stream it. And you can get it by streaming, by the way. I wanted to point that out. That
in fact, it's expected more people will watch streaming this year than ever before.
Yeah, exactly. It's on CBS only, so if you have cable or satellite, it's CBS. And it'll be streaming on whatever service or device has a CBS app,
right,
which includes YouTube TV, AT&T TV, Fubo TV, CBS All Access. Interestingly, I just read earlier today that Hulu has lost the distribution rights to some CBS affiliates. So you may or may not get to see it on Hulu, and Sling TV doesn't have it either. So that's too bad. That's kind of a bummer.
But you can watch it on broadcast, of course, if you have that.
Yeah.
I guess for cord cutters, right.
For cord cutters, if you don't, if you cut your cord and you don't have cable or satellite or anything, then that's really the only way to do. Well, it isn't actually. I just before we went on, saw something from Verizon that if you have an iPhone 12 or higher, you can watch on 5G, on the 5G network, using, I guess, the NFL app. Yeah. And you have the option of looking at 7 different cameras,
Is there an asterisk?
That's kind of cool.
Is there an asterisk on that at all that says where millimeter wave 5G were available, or is it on there?
Well,
there's 2 different kinds of 5G. There's millimeter wave high band, which is very limited. It only goes 800 feet. So you have to be within 800 feet of a tower. And then there is what T-Mobile is doing, as well as Verizon, which is the I can't remember what it is. It's low band. I think it's 800 megahertz, 700 megahertz, low band. But that doesn't have any of the speed benefit. I would expect that in order to do those multicams, you'll have to have millimeter wave, which means it's going to be the tiniest portion of America that'll be able to see that.
You know, that's very interesting because there's nothing. I'm looking at the Verizon website right now, and there is nothing about that at all.
Yeah, it's all promotional. I think, this is a
I know.
foolish thing for Verizon to keep doing because people aren't stupid, and very few people will get this. And it's just, all they're doing is telling people, I don't know what they're telling people, that it's bogus, I guess.
Well, this brings up a question I've had, which is, everyone's talking about 5G, and it's getting promoted very heavily. But if the only real benefit is in the millimeter band, and you have to be 800 feet from a tower, you better have towers all over the place.
Well, and you don't.
Any use.
It's all in metros. You all have to, it's silly. It's silly.
It's silly. I tell you, it's silly.
Watch it on your television. Don't watch it on your phone.
Yes, well,
who cares?
No.
If you watch it on your phone, you can have 7 screens. They're all going to be the size of a postage stamp.
I know.
I don't even.
No. Verizon does say you can watch it at home as well and have access to 5. I think so. Still,
if your TV's connected to the 5G network,
correct, which is certainly not a foregone conclusion. Anyway, so there are a number of ways to watch it. I'm sure you've heard the news that some of the big names have decided not to run commercials this year.
Really?
Yeah, Coke, Pepsi, and Budweiser.
Is that because of COVID? Is that because they feel like we should be doing something else with our money? Because it's expensive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like $5.5 million for a 30-second spot.
Is it really? Wow, it keeps going up. Wow.
And I bet you it's more this year because, more people are going to be watching at home. They can't, at least in L.A., I don't know about everywhere else in the country, probably not, but in L.A., certainly, you can't go to a bar or a restaurant and watch it there.
Oh, really?
The law is restaurants and bars cannot have their TV on because if they did, people would gather and congregate. And there'd be a huge crowd in all these restaurants and bars. And so the law now says
that makes sense. Yeah, there's some fear, yeah. So no Budweiser. This is the first time in 37 years no Budweiser commercial in a Super Bowl.
That's right.
Budweiser said they're going to
Bud Light.
Well, that's Budweiser.
There is going to be Bud Light. I know. I didn't get that. When I saw the news that, Budweiser's not going to be on here, I went, wait a second, though. There's a Bud Light commercial. There's 2, in fact.
Oh, yeah, 90-second spots on the digital platforms. So that's, okay. Coca-Cola, first time in a long time. And that's
a long time.
Pepsi, same thing. But does that mean, I'm sure it doesn't mean that we're going to see public service announcements in those slots.
No.
There will be ads, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
But there'll be plenty of them. Of them. One of the interesting ones is Dolly Parton allowed somebody to use her song 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And the ad is called 5 to 9. It's about gig workers.
Huh.
Working
paid for by Uber?
Yeah, no, I think it's
Lyft.
Yeah, something like that.
DoorDash.
Yeah, something. I can't remember exactly who it is.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money in California during the the primary in June because, of course, they were desperate to pass this Prop 22, which allowed them to continue to do what they're doing, which they did succeed in passing. And, of course, the whole conceit was, look, it's good for everybody. People don't want to work full time. They want to work 5 to 9. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong
Except
with that.
The problem is the people work 9 to 5 at a regular job and then 5 to 9 on their Uber job or whatever. So
they're also bringing back the fabulous Wayne's World, which,
I know. I can't wait for that.
Who doesn't remember that with love? Only people over 50 probably, but okay.
Right. But
I don't know what young people are going to think when they say, who are these guys?
Who are these guys? And they're advertising Uber Eats, so there's another gig economy ad.
There you go. Will Ferrell is going to do an ad for GM. I was talking about electric vehicles. GM really wants to let the world know that's where they're going. All electric everywhere.
All electric, yeah.
So there's not going to be an ad for Budweiser, but there is going to be an ad for Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade.
I know. Also, there's going to be an ad with the Clydesdales from
That's
Sam
a
Adams.
Budweiser. What? Oh,
No,
they
it's
are.
from Sam
but they're
Adams.
owned by Anheuser-Busch. So
Are they?
I'm sure
okay,
they are.
All right. Well, so the Clydesdales will still be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do
I'm
you do?
recording the
You don't
show.
watch the football game. You just record
No.
You,
I record the show. I zip through the game so that I can watch the commercials on the halftime show.
wasn't it? Who was it? Was it TiVo who a couple of years ago said we're going to have a skip the football game button? They used to have a
Yes,
They have a
yes.
skip the commercial button, but this time skip
Yes.
to the commercial button.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly right.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I'll be watching the Puppy Bowl.
Scott Wilkinson, home theater geek, emphasis on the geek, contributor at techhive.com, and a regular on this show. Thank you, Scott. Enjoy your Super Sunday. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I don't know what's going on. So, John,
I forgot to mention this one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
John, I noticed you restarted the stream. Was that for the lip sync issue? Because now it's okay. It went dark in here for a while.
I just saw the notice for the ad from a freelancer marketplace called Fiverr.
Oh yeah,
heard of
Fiverr.
them?
Yeah, Fiverr's good. Yeah.
They're doing a Super Bowl ad at Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh, that's hysterical. That's
I just
great.
saw that. Wow. That's funny. Should I be able to turn back on my camera now?
No.
Okay,
You don't have enough
all right.
bandwidth. There's no point.
That's so
talk.
weird because okay, it's just talk.
Well, if you want to turn it on, you can, but we'll see what happens. Go ahead, turn
Let's
it
see
on.
what let's do an experiment. Here, my camera's back on. Testing 1, 2, 3. So before it was affecting my audio.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, John and I have to maybe get together on that and see if there's another setting in OBS Ninja that might help that. But because I got plenty of bandwidth here, I got like 20 megs up, so it should be totally fine. Nobody else is on a computer or doing anything here, so I
Don't know.
You know, I know it's a radio show, and I know.
Yeah,
that
just
the
from now
images-
on, just start with that video, and if you want to turn it on
Okay.
for this, you can.
Okay. Shall do. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Scooter X, no, not the Kitten Bowl on the Hallmark Channel. Nope. It's the Puppy Bowl. The Puppy Bowl is actually getting streamed this year, and I believe on the stream version of it, it's being hosted by Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. I just love that. Cable says there will be 12 4K and 8K used by CBS tomorrow. Cameras. So why aren't they broadcasting in 4K? They say production concerns. I think it's probably reasonable because,
I bet you because they have to have a truck
more remotely.
Yeah, they're not going to have a truck out there, so because the truck's not safe. So if you don't have a truck, you can't do
Or if
4K
they do,
or
it's
8K.
not going to have nearly as many people in it. Right. They're transporting everything over the internet just from the get-go. So I'm not surprised in that regard. Twisted Mister says you might want to see if AT&T Fiber is available at your address. Last time I checked, which was probably a year ago, it was not. I can get a gig symmetric with AT&T. I wish it were. I'll check again. Maybe they've expanded it out to my neighborhood, but it wasn't last time I looked. Lawn Dog, I'm on a Mac. But now Dr. Mom Grandma says I'm breaking up again. So, okay, I will go back here and turn off my camera. I'm sorry that's the case, folks.
Leo Laporte stuck right here in the middle with you. 8888. Ask Leo the phone number. Jose on the line from Modesto. Hello, Jose.
Hello, Leo.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
Yeah. I have a follow-up question. I'm not sure you remember I called a couple of weeks ago about my Roku Ultra.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wanted to see a follow-up question with you and possibly with Mr. Wilkinson there.
Yeah, he's still here.
I figured I tried everything. I bought a monoprice cable, as you mentioned to me and everything. I tried everything, troubleshoot.
Still not working, huh? So give us the symptoms again. What's going on?
Okay, I kind of narrowed it down since my last call to you guys. That when I have a 4K HDR TV.
Yep.
I have that Ultra at the Roku Ultra.
So you have a Roku Ultra. Is it directly connected to the 4K TV?
Yes.
It's connected via the HDMI port into your, the Ultra is actually standalone box. So you need a cable that's connected from the Roku Ultra into your TV. And you try what we thought was maybe it was a bad cable, but you bought new cables and you're not getting 4K. Is that the problem?
I'm getting a Hdcp 2.2 error.
The copy protection, the dread copy protection. So this is so annoying. I rail against copy protection again and again and again because it never stops pirates. You know, pirates have, there's also, you can order on Amazon a box that strips HDCP, the copy protection. Bad guys know that, and they do. The only people it ever hurts are people like Jose, who are honest, decent, God-fearing people who can't use their stuff. So frustrating to me. So he's got a Roku Ultra. That's HDCP compliant. Is it every channel, Jose, or is it just some channels?
Yes, every single channel. Look at this. Even when I'm watching YouTube, Prime Video, anything. Even, for example, when I'm watching you live on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, it gives me that particular error.
Well, that's hysterical because, of course, we're not HDCP, and nor is YouTube, as far as I know. All right. So there's something wrong. You replaced the cable. My initial thought was, well, maybe the HDMI cable is not 1.4 compliant or CP compliant. Everything in the chain, the cable, the source, and the TV all have to be compliant with the copy protection. I'm going to presume your TV is. I know the Roku Ultra is. Now we know you've got the cable right. I think there's something wrong with the Roku. That's all.
Okay, I see. Because even, look at this. Even when I'm watching anything, even by changing the volume on my TV, it triggers that error.
So I presume do you have a cable box or something else hooked up to that TV?
No, I have connected the Roku directly to the 4K.
But is there anything else that you can watch without this error?
Nope.
So the only thing you're ever using is this Roku Ultra, and you get that error. So we can't really know if it's the Roku Ultra or the TV. I'm going to think it's the Roku. Have you reset it? Did you go into the settings and reset the Roku?
Yes.
Okay. Mike Heiss in the chat room is saying some older TVs are not HDMI capable, but HDCP capable. But I know this isn't an older TV because it's 4K UHD. Right, Scott? It would have to be HDCP compliant.
4K yeah, it would have to be.
It'd have to be. You wouldn't be able to play anything on it.
Right, exactly.
So
he doesn't have any other source device to test.
No, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
So here in the Roku community, HDCP error, from somebody going back to November 2019. Okay, here's what they're saying, and I'll try this. Let's try this, Jose. Settings, system, advanced system settings, advanced display settings, auto adjust display refresh rate if it's set to enabled, set to disabled. Then go to HDR subsampling and set to 420. That worked for me. And then the guy who posted this said, none of this worked. But he said, this did work. Unplug the power cord of the TV. Unplug the power cord of the Roku. Unscrew both ends of the HDMI cable to the TV and the Roku device. Wait 10 minutes. Screw in both ends of the HDMI cable to the TV and Roku device. Plug the TV back in. In other words, a full reset. And he says it worked. This sounds like there's an issue with the Roku. In fact, I'm looking, and it looks like a lot of people have had similar errors. Here's what I'm going to do, Jose. I'm going to put a link to this particular post in the Roku community forums on the show notes at techguylabs.com. There's quite a bit of information here, including a support article from Roku, which does recommend replacing the cable. You've done that. Other things you can do. Apparently, this is not uncommon. There are 8 pages, 8 pages of people complaining of this HDCP error. So maybe this is an issue with the Roku. In fact, I sense that is perhaps a problem with the Roku. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts because this is all coming down to a stupid thing insisted on by Hollywood to protect, against pirates, this content copy protection. And as the game industry has learned, as every industry, software industry has learned, copy protection it's not even a speed bump for pirates. People who want to make copies of content know how to get around this stuff. It's trivially easy. It's a Google search away. The only people content protection ever hurts are honest people like you, Jose. Because the pirates aren't stopped. So knock it off. Just knock it off. Stop doing the copy protection. Can't you see it's hurting your business? Man, drives me nuts. Jessica, Gorham, Massachusetts. Hello, Jessica.
Wait, we're not on. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Jessica. Hello.
Hi. I have a question for you. I am a special education teacher, and
Thank you.
I'm trying to. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, it's Gorham, Maine. I'm sorry, not Massachusetts. Gorham,
Yes.
Maine. I apologize. Go ahead.
That's okay. I am trying to teach students in person and virtually
Hey.
at the same time.
Must be so hard.
It is hard with the 6-foot distancing that we have to do.
Oh,
So
man.
typically-
So some students are on the screen and some students are there
Yes.
at the same time?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So usually what we do is I have every student log in with their Chromebook and we log into a Google Meet session so we're all in the same.
Oh, that's good. Even if they're in person, they're at least in the meeting. Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
smart. Yeah.
But the trouble that I'm having now is I'm having more and more students that need to be in the room with me, and it's becoming a big pain with the feedback and the microphone
Oh.
phone.
Yeah.
Because I always have to say you need to mute all the time
Uh-huh.
when I talk.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Otherwise, your voice is coming through every kid's microphone. Oh, what
Yeah.
a nightmare.
So I'm wondering if there's any way to project. My question is if there's any way to project it so that all the kids at home can be seen like on my LCD monitor that I have on my table, but I need everyone to hear everyone.
All right. Hang on, because I gotta take a break, but don't go away. I'm going to talk to you off the air. Yes, there is. I believe we're using casting, but stay tuned. Sorry that ran out of time in the hour. So have you tried, let's see, if the meeting is in a Chrome or a browser, you can Chromecast to a TV set, and you would see the screen and you would get the audio, although you could always turn the TV audio off if you wanted that. You're still going to have the problem of all those microphones open. Oh, I see. Though your idea is they don't have microphones now. You could just They could just watch the screen. The only ones with microphones are the ones at home.
Right.
They would need, if you wanted the kids at home to hear them, they would obviously have to have the in-person students would have to be mic'd. But you could pass around a mic or something. You figure out a way to do that.
I know. We just can't with COVID. Like, we can't share.
Oh, you can't pass around, can you? No.
We can't pass anything.
So, because Google Meetings are happening in a browser, and on the Chrome OS, it's in a Chrome browser, there is a cast button. It's a kind of funny-looking button, but they used to call it Chromecast. And if your TV supports casting, or if it doesn't, you can get a $35 Chromecast and put it on the TV. And then you can tell in the browser, you can say, cast this to the TV set. It'll see it. It'll actually be in the drop-down menu. Say, oh, you mean the big LCD TV in the front of the room? You say, yes.
Yeah.
Then everything that is seen on your screen will be up on the big screen. All the kids in room with you can see that. All the kids at home will be still able to talk and watch. The only issue is going to be you're going to have a mic. Do you need the students in person to be able to speak?
Yes, because it's a social skills group.
Oh, great. First of all, God bless you. You guys, teachers, you are doing such an important job, and it's got to be murder. Thank you. And I can't believe they're making you do both in person but that's going to be the future, isn't it? So we have small class sizes. Some kids are at home, and are they rotating? Is that how they're doing it?
It's special ed, so we have to get every minute in. So the kids come in 2 days a week, and when they're home, they have to log in for all their minutes.
Jessica, thank you for doing this. You're a saint. Wow. So
I don't have a TV at the front of my room, but I do have an LCD monitor that I sometimes project to, because I do this for math class quite frequently. Yeah. But I just don't involve microphones because I don't need.
So the trick is the microphone.
Right. Yes, that's the issue.
So how could? Yeah. So putting it on the screen isn't really going to solve the problem. We need to have some way of getting only the kid you want to speak. I mean, there are very expensive solutions. In fact, we have a sponsor called Nareva that makes an array mic designed for this situation, but it's thousands of dollars. I'm sure the school district is not going to do this. But it's designed for businesses. They put it in the conference room, and what it does, it's very clever. It does computational audio, and it figures out who's speaking and aims it over there and eliminates all that echoing and all that room noise and all that stuff. Otherwise, yeah, you need a way the teacher needs to mute it. You need control of their mics, because then you could say, okay, Joe's talking. Okay, it's Sally talking. And you need
Or if I eliminate all the mics, like I need my mic to be strong enough to hear their voices at 6 feet away.
Yeah.
From my.
Well, that's kind of what the Nareva is, and there are less expensive ways to put a single microphone in the front of the room that picks up everybody. But it's going to get background noise and stuff. But anything that's even if it was your mic that was that good. That's what we call an omnidirectional mic. And the reason I don't use them and most people don't use them is it picks up all the noise in the room at all times. There's no way to... That's the thing that Nareva did, which was smart, is use software to aim. Okay, this is crazy. I got an idea. Somebody in the chat room saying, you need a mixer. How many kids are in the room with you at any given time?
Well, right now 3, but I'm trying to add 1 or 2 more, and so just the thought of having them all deal with microphones and music.
Yeah. And if there's 3, that means the most distant one is 18 feet, 6, 12, 18 feet away from you.
I have them. Well, no, they're not 18 feet away. Like I'm at the front of the.
Oh, you could be 6 feet from each. So if they're surrounding you, yeah.
At pivot, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are mics that are designed to do this, but all of them will pick up a lot of extraneous noise. They'll pick up every kid at the same time.
Which is okay. I mean, I just need them to be heard.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's like, So, if you had a... Okay, there are ways to do this. If you had a shotgun mic, which is a very directional mic that you were holding. You could point it at the student talking. They're only one at a time?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm controlling the situation the whole time.
So what you could use, and they're not, you can get inexpensive ones. Of course, I know you have no budget for this, which means it comes out of your pocket, and I hate giving you this, but it is possible. This would solve it, is to get a mic that you could aim. So you're sitting there holding this mic. You're on your headset, so you're mic'd, and then this mic goes into the Chromebook that you're using, and you're aiming it at whoever's talking. You need something more directional. But yeah, you could put a microphone in the middle of the room that would pick them all up. Because none of them are more than 6 feet away from the center point, right?
From me. And I could eliminate the headphones from me if I'm just then.
Right, because you put it on the speaker. Well, of course, they're going to pick up this is tough. This is going to pick up the speaker too. Google Meet has built-in echo cancellation, but you're going to get some echo from that. Wow, this is a trick. This is tricky. I would still have the kids wearing headphones. Wow.
It's nuts. It's nuts when they all I've trained 1 or 2 students to be okay, but now that I'm having to add 3 to it, the amount of prompting involved with
it
takes away from the whole.
Because some of them are special needs, so they probably don't remember to hit mute and all that. Yeah.
Right. They're all special needs.
Yeah. Oh, well, but there's a range of, abilities, obviously.
Yeah.
As I remember, Google Meet, it's like a space bar to mute. Or is it controlled?
Well,
Control A.
I don't know. I make them do it. We do it right on the screen with the red.
What you could do is get a mixer, which is not, this is not expensive. Put a mic for each kid into the mixer, and then you could control who can talk. You'd actually be able to mute. I thought Google Meet would let you. Does Google Meet, as the administrator, can't you mute them?
Yes, but then I think they lose the power to unmute.
Right, you control it. Yeah.
Then I'm controlling.
So because you want this to be a conversation, you want them to be able to unmute, which would ruin the mixer too. Would be the same thing. You'd be controlling it. I think what you need is what's called an omnidirectional mic that you put in the middle, so it's equidistant from everybody, and you have them face it, and it would then pick up everybody.
Okay, and I could do that without me wearing headphones.
Ideally, you'd all be wearing headphones. Because you're going to put the LCD's going to have a speaker, but that's going to go into the mic too. So ideally, you'd still want to wear headphones. I'm sorry, I have to run. Jessica, thank you.
All right,
thank you. God bless. Keep working. Keep doing the good work. Jeez. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography. We're talking to Jessica in Gorham, Maine. A saint, an actual literal saint in our midst. She teaches special ed in the public schools. Some of the kids come in 3 at a time. Some of the kids are at home. They're all on Google Meet. And it's a class for social skills, so they are having a conversation. And she says, how can the kids, it's hard for them to remember to mute and unmute. If you've ever been in a Zoom meeting, what is the most common phrase heard in a Zoom meeting besides put on your pants? It's, you're muted. You're muted. Turn on your, right? It's the worst. And these students are special needs kids, so it's even more tricky for poor Jessica. But she is a saint. This is teachers in this COVID crisis are just, they're doing the most important work. They're trying to keep our kids sane and educated. And now what they're doing, a lot of teachers are going to be running into this, which is they're going to rotate kids in. They don't want too many people in the classroom, obviously. So they're going to have, but to give kids some time in class, they're going to rotate them in. They're going to go through this. And so I take it that's what they're doing. But her problem is she wants everybody to be able to talk, but she can't guarantee. It's too hard to get them to all mute and unmute. And I said, well, you can get a shotgun mic and aim it at the kid, but that's going to be silly. I don't want her to spend all of her time thinking about the mechanics of it. So I think the final solution, which is not the greatest, but it's probably the best, is to get an omnidirectional microphone, which she can pick up the whole room. You want to position everybody. There's 4 people in the room, so you can have a circle. So that everybody's 6 feet away from the microphone and 6 feet away from each other, right? So you have a circle around the mic. Everybody needs to face the mic, and when they speak at the mic. It's going to get a lot of extra noise, extraneous noise, but I think that wouldn't be too bad. Keep the room quiet, shut the doors and windows and stuff, and try to keep the kids from rustling papers and chewing gum, all the stuff teachers are doing, have done ever since we've had teachers, and then have the kids speak into the mic. And then the kids at home will hear them just fine. The problem now is, she's asking, well, how do I get those students in the classroom to hear what the kids at home are saying through? So they're going to need headphones. And of course, remember, everything has to be sanitized. This is so complicated. One Brian in our chat room is suggesting something called a boundary microphone. And by the way, the other problem, these are the things, you've seen them. Polycom has them and stuff. They put them on conference room tables. It's an omnidirectional microphone that you put on the you've probably been in these conferences. Remember the old days where you sat at a conference room table and some poor person's on the phone. You can barely hear them. All they hear is a lot of noise. It's terrible. It's terrible. Boundary microphones are typically used in a conference room situation, sometimes mounted on the wall. But again, and here's the other problem, teachers are often spending their own money because there's no budget for this. And I think that would be a fairly expensive microphone. I think a cheap omnidirectional microphone, most microphones, by the way, the cheap ones are omnidirectional. They pick up from every direction. And then I guess you're going to have headphones. You can get a headphone amplifier that comes off of so you're going to have, Jessica, you're going to have the meeting. You're in the meeting. You have audio coming out of your computer. You want to put that into a headphone amplifier that has 4 jacks, 1 for each student and you. Now you're all wearing your headphones. Yes, you'll have to sanitize them after each class. And then they can hear what's going on. You don't want an open speaker in that room because of this omnidirectional mic is going to pick up the speaker. Then you're going to have feedback, which I know you're already having. So that's how you get rid of the feedback, is with headphones. Everybody gets headphones. And this is the kind of thing a school's AV setup might have: an omnidirectional microphone, 4 headphones, and a headphone distribution amp. I guess if you're getting if you have to buy the headphones, you can buy the headphones with mics, right? And just everybody can talk. Then you're not going to, that actually is going to solve the feedback problem. Everybody can talk. It's not going to be so much different. Just get the headsets with a boom mic. We routinely use those for guests on the show and so forth. Jabra makes them, among other companies. We use the Jabras right now. Plantronics makes them. And the idea is it's a headphone plus boom microphone. Then each kid has their own microphone and headphone. That might work better. Oh, man. I just, my heart reaches out. I really want to help, Jessica. It's a tough situation. Ed is on the line. He's from Claremore, Oklahoma. Hello, Ed.
Oh, just a second. I was just putting some ice in it.
That's good. Is it in a martini?
No, just a soda first.
I guess it's a little early for a gin and tonic. Okay.
I had a little bit of time while I was on hold. So
I thank you for your patience. Yeah, I know. I take a long time. I know. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. Appreciate your answering the call. I have actually 2 questions. Hopefully we get a second one. But the first one, the important one, is I got to wondering if when you use on a portable device, when you use fingerprint login to either the phone or a site, particularly a financial site, is do you need two-factor if you use fingerprint login?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. So fingerprint is, of course, more secure because it's hard for somebody to duplicate your fingerprint. So it's better than a password by itself. But the idea of two-factor is it's two different factors. So it's something you know, which would be a password, for instance, something you are, which would be a fingerprint or face recognition, and then something you have, which would be a physical key, dongle, or your phone with an authenticator, that kind of thing. By combining two of those three, you make it more secure. A fingerprint is a great solution. Now, in general, I think the way phones implement fingerprints and computers implement fingerprints, you're pretty secure. In fact, it depends what you're logging into. But for instance, your bank probably makes you log in with a password and then say, now I want to use a fingerprint. So in effect, you're using two-factor, right? So I think, yes, I do. Let's put it this way. I'll put my money where my mouth is. That's how I do it. And so my bank on my phone, it does face recognition. It saves me a lot of time. I don't have to enter the password each time. And yeah, I think face and fingerprint are pretty good. Now, the key on this would be make sure that you keep control of the phone. You don't have somebody in the house who might, while you're sleeping, unlock your phone, that kind of thing. If you're not worried about that, I think you're good.
Okay, good. My big worry, of course, was somebody steal my phone and my finger.
Yeah, you know, I was watching a scary show the other day in which they were using. I don't know, how do I say this without sounding horrible? They were using corpses' fingers to unlock their phones. And I pointed out to my dear wife, I said, well, you can't do that because almost all of the fingerprint recognition that's being used now can tell the difference between a real finger and a fake finger or a dead finger.
I wondered if they have temperature sensors.
They do, exactly.
Of course, you put the finger in the mic. Oh, never mind.
Well, yeah, we can go on and on. And there have been in the past, there have been, they use Play-Doh fingers and so forth. But it's pretty hard. And the truth is, this is the real point. Look, if you're being targeted, if somebody says, my entire goal is to get Ed and Claremore, to get him and his bank account, that's a whole different matter than some general guy saying, I want to get everybody's bank account. If somebody's targeting you, you have a whole different set of issues, and they would have to be targeting you to get a fake fingerprint, right, or cut off your finger. I mean, they'd have to be going after you. If you're somebody being gone after, then you would need. If you're a Hollywood celebrity, a politician, then you have a higher standard of security. But you and I don't have to worry about that. Fingerprint's good enough.
Good. Do you have time for one more quick one?
Sure, Ed.
Wireless charging of your devices. Is there any concern that some off-brands of chargers might do damage to your device?
No, because the device is the device is where the protection circuitry lives, not in the charger.
Okay. What is Qi or QI?
Qi.
Is that a technology?
It is.
Or is
It's a standard for wireless charging. QI, and almost everybody supports it. That's the way to go in general. Yeah, it depends on your device, but almost everybody supports Qi now, which means this is what we wanted. We wanted a standard, so when you get a wireless charger, if it says it's Qi compatible and your phone is Qi compatible, you're golden. You don't have to figure out anything else.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much
welcome.
for your help.
Yeah.
Right.
There used to be other standards. There was PowerMat. That was different than Qi. A PowerMat device could only charge PowerMat devices, not Qi devices. Fortunately, thanks probably to Apple and their support of Qi when they finally went to wireless charging on the iPhone, that kind of put it over the top. Qi is now the standard for everything. It's a Chinese word, QI. All right. Yeah, trust fingerprint. Face ID and fingerprint are pretty good. It's complicated. Again, if you're the target, it's a little different. Then I would do two-factor every single time. If you're a celebrity and you want to protect your pictures from prying eyes, I would use two-factor. If you're not a celebrity, if you're not somebody people are going after, if you're an A-list celebrity, if you're a B-list celebrity, you don't have to worry. No, I'm just teasing. 8888. Ask Leo's the phone number. I couldn't resist. Hey, I got another tip for you. If you are trying to protect your assets at home, you need Simply Safe. Simply put, the single best home security system out there. With Simply Safe, you can keep your home and family safe from everything: a break-in, a fire, flooding, a medical emergency. Simply Safe Home Security delivers the best award-winning 24/7 protection, and it does it for less. You get an arsenal of cameras and sensors. You get the best professional monitoring out there for a third of what the other guys are charging. They've got your back night or day, ready to send police, fire, EMTs when you need them straight to the door. And I have to tell you, if you go to simplysafe.com/twit right now, you can pick the sensors you want, put together a package. They're all peel and stick, whether it's motion sensors, glass break sensors, door or window opening sensors, water detection, cameras. They're all peel and stick. The Simply Safe base station will tell you, okay, go ahead, I got it. Yep, next one, yep. No guy coming into your house traipsing around. No risk there. And no cost there either. Plus, because they're peel and stick, if you're a renter, this is great because you can take it with you when you move. I love that. It takes, half an hour with this thing because this is the base unit, because it's going to talk you through the whole thing. Super easy. And then you turn on the professional monitoring. No contract. It is more affordable, literally a third of the cost of the other big guys. It's 24/7, same exact quality monitoring, no hidden fees, no contract, no installation costs. And I'm going to make this even better because right now you're going to get a free home security camera when you buy a Simply Safe system. So go to simplysafe.com/twit. It's a 60-day risk-free trial. So even if you hate it, there's no risk. You won't. In fact, the peace of mind is well worth it. Nowadays especially, I think simplysafe.com/twit. It just makes you feel good. Get that free security camera too. simplysafe.com/twit. They're a great company, great sponsor. We've been with them for years. I've actually put Simply Safe up in my kids' houses as well because they're moving around. It's the simplest thing to do. I just went over and said, let me set you up. simplysafe.com/twit. Thank you, Simply Safe. I'm heading out to the highway. I am searching for adventure. Whatever comes my way. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 8888 asked Leo the phone number. You like Game of Thrones? Remember that? George R.R. Martin, The Song of Ice and Fire. Was it 5 or 6 volumes? I think it's 5, and he's working on the 6th. Conan O'Brien asked him, how he writes, given how long these books are and how much writing there is. And George R.R. Martin, and this is only a few years ago, said, I use WordStar. He says, it's good for me. No computer viruses, no distractions. I use WordStar. It runs on DOS. It was really probably one of the most successful word processors of all time. Any of you ever use WordStar? If you ever did, your fingers probably still remember the keys, like Control-KS to save, things like that, right? It's still there. It's still in your brain, embedded in. It was incredibly successful. WordStar 4, I think, was the last version released in 1987. And then, of course, Windows started taking over. Microsoft Word started taking over. WordStar, though, still has, I think, a lot of fans. It was distributed by a company called MicroPro. Guy who wrote it, Rob Barnaby, wrote it in 6 months in 1978. But MicroPro distributed. And MicroPro was the creation of a software pioneer named Seymour Rubinstein. Seymour passed away, I'm sad to say, this week. MicroPro was in Sausalito. It was beloved. Seymour was quite the character and certainly an early computer pioneer. And without WordStar, I don't know what George R.R. Martin would. I don't know if we'd have Game of Thrones, or frankly, it wasn't just Game of Thrones. A lot of writers still use WordStar. which is fascinating. So Seymour Rubinstein. We don't want to forget him because he was part of the amazing story of the history of microcomputing. And we are at the pinnacle so far. It's pretty amazing what we've done. Every time I think back, I was reading the other day, a 1985 magazine. So what is that? 35-year-old computer magazine called Byte, which I wrote for in the late 70s, early 80s. Right about that time. And it seemed, I was reading the ads, reading the articles. We've come a long way in 35 years. It was pretty primitive. WordStar itself was fairly primitive, but we've come a long way. 8888 Ask Leo. Penny's on the line from Apple Valley, California. Hello, Penny. Welcome.
Hi, Leo.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Glad to speak to you.
Thanks for calling.
I'm a teacher also, and my boyfriend and I, we both have different teaching jobs which require person-to-person. Usually, I teach gardening.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, and he's a welder.
Do you teach in a high school or a community college? Or?
No, I used to work for the Gerson Institute in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
And so I teach people just on... Well, I just do it basically because I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm not too good at computers. And he's a welder, and he teaches for a community college, so they're having him do the stuff that he would just paper.
Pretty hard to teach either gardening or welding over Zoom. Yeah. Right? You want to get out and do these. These are hands-on activities.
We're working with what we've got.
I guess so.
You
got to be safe, right? Yeah.
Is a 2012 mid-year MacBook Pro.
Okay.
That I haven't used since I graduated college because I'm not on the computer that much.
Yeah.
So I just grew up with you, Leo Laporte, listening to
my dad
still has his Commodore 64.
Oh, thank you, Penny.
Yeah, I knew who to call, but I really have looked all over the internet. And
what's going on? What's the problem?
I need to download some new software on the computer.
Yeah, so Apple will limit the version of Mac OS you can put on older Macs. If you go to everymac.com, it has every Mac ever made, and it has which version of the operating system you can install. And unfortunately, on a 2012, you probably can't run Zoom. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. And that's, it doesn't have enough horsepower. Apple says you need a certain amount of RAM, that kind of thing. Let me see. Is it a MacBook Pro? What Mac is it? I'm going to look it up on every Mac.
I have it right here with the details up.
Oh.
I don't know. It might be weak. I just got it the last year, but I don't know which one you want, the software or...
Just if you have about this Mac under the Apple,
I have it up.
Okay.
I have it up.
What model number is it? It should be something like... What year, rather? Yeah.
2012, mid-2012.
Mid-2012, yeah. Okay. I think that's probably enough. Let me look and see here. Is it a 13?
4 gigabyte memory.
Yeah.
13-inch, 2.5 gigahertz. And that's why I was trying to call to see if I should just scrap it and get something new.
Well, let me see what the latest version of Mac OS you could put on there, because that's going to inform what version. Yeah, it looks like. What do you have on there now? Do you have Snow Leopard?
It says OS X 8.5.
Yeah, that's pretty old.
Yeah, I know. I haven't used it since I graduated because I'm not a computer person.
Yeah. Why buy an expensive
every weekend?
Why buy an expensive computer if you're not using it?
Yeah.
So that's Mountain Lion. I think that's the last one you could put on that.
If it'll even do something on it, it'll be fine. But I just wanted your advice because I've looked on the internet.
And so when you try to put Zoom on there, does it say something? Does it say can't run on that?
It just says all software has been updated.
Yeah.
But then it won't do anything.
It won't run.
So, so it says
okay, in fact, I'm looking at an article, how to enable Zoom on Mountain Lion. Oh, that's not that kind of Zoom. You want the Zoom. That's how to zoom in.
Oh, Mountain Lion is one that, like, I was looking on a lot of, excuse my French, nerdy websites, and they were saying that you should, Mountain Lion was the one that would probably only work.
Yeah, well, that's as far as you have Mountain Lion on there. And it may be as far as you can go on a 2012 MacBook.
Alrighty.
Have you put Zoom on there?
No, I can't. That's what I'm trying to do.
It won't do it.
My
Okay.
boyfriend has a Dell, old one. It doesn't have a forward-facing camera.
If you had enough money to buy a new computer, a MacBook Air, about $1,000 though. It's expensive.
Oh.
But that would be a big improvement.
Okay.
If you can't afford that, Apple does have a refurb site where they sell only moderately used, fully warranted Apples for a few $100 less. So that's probably what I would look at and see what you can get. You'll be getting, let me see, it's just if you Google Apple, it's apple.com/shop/refurbished is what it is. But let me just see what they have on. You can get a 13. Yeah, see, these are still pretty expensive.
I thought I just missed it with the updates because I haven't been using it at all. So. Well,
yeah, if you try to update it, you might be able to. I think Mountain Lion's the last one you could put on there, and so that's the issue is that you can't get anything more modern on there, and Zoom needs something.
So how
more
would I try to put Mountain Lion on there if I wanted to?
It's got Mountain Lion. You said it has 10.8, right?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Leo. I dig in the dirt. I work for. I'm a vegetable person. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I think you have Mountain Lion on there. It just may be that Zoom won't run on Mountain Lion. I have to run because I got Johnny Jet here. I think time to get a new one, probably. That's pretty old. Here we go. He's been everywhere, man. He's my man for travel. Travel like a rock star or not. Johnny Jet. Hello, Johnny.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, more importantly?
Good. I'm hanging in there. Actually, I could have used you a few minutes ago. I was just on the phone with Xfinity cable from my dad. I mean, it's just like...
Oh, that's the worst because he's in Florida. And
totally.
Yeah, I do that for my mom sometimes, and it's hard because they say, "Well, who are you?" I'm his son. I'm trying to get this worked out but you're in California? Yes.
Yeah. They don't understand that. Although I finally got someone who knew what they're talking about. He switched apartments and they cut off his Wi-Fi just because he switched apartments, same building, and it's like it makes no sense. Like we need to send someone out there. I was like, I bought the router. No,
they do that. I've had them do that where they disconnect. They actually, they send somebody out to disconnect it, which is very annoying.
That's what they did because it was working. He moved 3 weeks ago, and it was working fine. And they sent someone out and disconnected it.
So we disconnected it. Yeah. So now,
but anyway, that's the least of my problems. That's the worst thing that happened to me today. It's a really good day.
You're a good son. That's what really matters.
Yeah. So let's talk about some happy news first, then we can go into the big travel news. One, there's a new mobile hotel company. It's like an RV, but it's a pimped out van basically called Cabana.life. And they started in Seattle last year, and they just entered the Los Angeles market last week. And they're only in these two places, but they're trying to expand. But for people who, don't want to rent a huge RV and want a touchless experience, because that's the best thing about it. You download their app, you book it, you find it, and then you unlock it, and the key's in the glove box, and you take off, and the first 200 miles are included. Then it's 100 miles after that. So you really want to stay, within the LA or Seattle area, wherever you're going. But, you don't ever have to use a public restroom or sleep somewhere.
This is
somewhere
great.
else.
Only 100
it
miles is kind of weird. It's kind of weird, though. You can only go 100 miles.
200 miles the first. You can go 200 miles for free the first night, and then it's 100 miles each night after that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, okay.
So, no, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, rental cars, depending on your
and if you're willing to pay,
charge.
you could take more mileage, too.
You can, but it's not something you want to drive across the country to go see your family.
No, okay.
But it's something you want to go, hang out for a long weekend or go up to the woods or whatever you want to do. But, they have a TV, they have Wi-Fi, they have, and they have a bathroom and a kitchen and heat. So it's cool stuff. And an 8-foot memory mattress, it says. So I think that's a pretty cool idea.
8 feet? Who's that tall?
I don't know.
That's pretty funny. Why 8
Not
feet?
me. It must be, sorry, not 8 feet, 8 inch.
Oh,
8 inch.
8 inch thick. 8 feet would be pretty funny.
I'm looking at the, it didn't say feet. So
Okay,
I'm looking at
you
the
could either get
person.
2 short people or 1 tall person. Okay.
It's funny because all the NBA players, most of them, are 6.5 feet or taller. So one of their big challenges is going to these hotels.
Oh, yeah.
Where mattresses are just too small. So some of these really plush hotels have extra long mattresses. So if you ever notice, wow, these mattresses are huge, most likely, and if it's a 5-star hotel.
It's an NBA hotel.
And also if the shower's really high, because they'll put the shower up high too.
Interesting. I never thought of that. But, so where do who does this RV again? Say the name again.
Cabana.life.
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 Okay.
I'll put it in my. I'll just put it.
We'll put it in the show notes too. Yeah.
Show notes. But the big news this week is Alaska. Actually, it was Canada that just shut down cruising for Alaska, for the Great Lakes, for New England, basically for all these areas because of this antiquated Jones Act, which required foreign ships to at least visit one international port. So you can't go, let's say, from Seattle to Anchorage. You have to stop in Vancouver.
Exactly. When I took an Alaska cruise, we had to stop. We actually stopped in Victoria, which is a beautiful little town, but because you have to make one international stop.
Yeah, well, they just put a kibosh to that. So,
good.
I mean, it's a blow to Alaska tourism this year.
Why is it a blow to Alaska? It's a blow to Vancouver.
Well, but especially Alaska, because all these ships, they had to stop in Canada before they got there.
Yeah. So now they don't. Why did that hurt Alaska?
Well, you can't. There's going to be all the cruise lines are now canceling all their Alaska cruises.
Wait a minute. You can't even go. Wait. Okay. Now I misunderstood. So the rule was you had, if you're a cruise line flagged in some other country, if you're flagged in the US,
which most of them are for taxes,
right? You have to stop in an international port on your way from one U.S. port to another. You have to have more than one country. So they would stop in Vancouver on the way to Alaska. So now the law says what? You don't have to do that anymore.
No, they didn't change the law. They're not changing that Jones Act.
So what happened?
The problem is Canada just said
Canada closed. I get it.
Canada's banning ships.
So they
in their
can't
water.
Stop in Victoria or Vancouver. I get it.
So that just puts it.
So you can't get to Alaska.
Not only Alaska, it's the Great Lakes, and when people do fall foliage tours in New England, it's going to hurt big time.
No cruise ships at all in Canada anymore.
There's going to be no cruises this summer until February 2022.
What?
Yes.
Not even January of next year?
No.
Wow. Not that anybody wants to go to Alaska in January. They're all during the summer, but
for still. They're usually April to September or maybe even early October. Actually, I think it's September. But in a little bit of good news, Holland America and Princess Cruises said they're going to keep their land-based lodges open in Alaska so people can at least fly up there and do that, which...
Maybe I'll drive my Cabana to Alaska.
Actually, that'd be smart of them to open up in the Anchorage market.
Yeah.
But so that was a big blow for tourism. Although I guess it shouldn't be that surprising because Canada really, cracked down. I think we talked about it last week. They banned all Canadian flights to Mexico and the Caribbean, even though the U.S. airlines are still flying between the two or some of the routes. But now Canada is actually only allowing international travelers to come into 4 airports.
Wow. Why are they locking down like that? Is that
because they see what other countries have done, like New Zealand, Vietnam, Australia.
They've done very well by locking down.
When you close the borders and make people quarantine, like really make them quarantine, you can live a normal life. I just interviewed 2 people for my podcast, one in Vietnam and one in Australia, and they're going out without. Some of them are going out without masks. All the restaurants are full capacity. The movies. I mean, so is Florida. But
well, I don't blame them for wanting to protect themselves. So their goal is if they shut down their borders, it's going to be hard though because there's this giant country to the south of them that's a long border.
For sure.
Yeah.
Canada is the second largest country in the world.
They weren't letting truck drivers in. Are they going to stop that?
I mean, I don't know. The land border's closed, but I assume that they have to allow transport. But I don't know how they're going to do it because these drivers would need to be quarantined. They're not going to let these drivers come in and hang out.
Wow. Well, I will watch with interest to see if this works for Canada.
But also, France just closed the Caribbean and French Polynesia this week as well.
Well, Lisa and I are going to go to Barbados. We just decided we're moving to Barbados. We're going to get that special visa. You can go there for a year, work there. I saw that the internet's excellent. Actually, I shouldn't say this out loud because now
I've been to Barbados. It's a beautiful island.
Is it beautiful?
It's safe. People are so friendly.
It's safe. Yep.
Although the 100-year-old guy, Tom Moore, who just passed away in England?
Yeah.
Who raised all that money. I'm pretty sure that he went on a trip to Barbados right before.
Oh.
So I'm not saying that he got it in Barbados.
Well, they have COVID in Barbados. It's not that, but anyway.
You can get it from traveling or whatever. So it's not the time to travel right now, but it's going to be because people are getting vaccinated. Cases are slowly going down.
It's going to get better. The Roaring 20s are coming. Johnny Jet. JohnnyJet.com. His newsletter's there. He's got a podcast. It's all there. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Johnny Jet. So you like Barbados?
I love it. Are you
So we were
kidding me?
thinking if we just went for like April and May. But the problem is that I have to have really good internet so that I could Skype in and do the show. And I would just do that.
I can't remember how the internet is.
Well, I just checked. So you can look at global internet test results. And if there's more than 300 in a month, they'll say, well, and so Speed Test says Barbados has excellent internet. The average is like really fast.
Yeah. I was there a couple of years ago, and it's a pretty wealthy nation, huh? Definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally, the people are so
cheap.
friendly. People are playing cricket on the beach, the best sunsets.
Yeah. Barbados 2020, fixed broadband. The average, 100 megabits down, 58 up. 7 milliseconds latency. The average on Speed Test. That's pretty good.
Take it. Go. Honestly.
I'm figuring we get to rent a house,
You don't have to worry about hurricanes that time of year?
Yeah, no, ever. They're outside the hurricane belt.
Well, no, I was there when I was there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I Skyped there from there. And they were actually there was a big storm coming. I did miss him. Actually,
I like storms.
It hit him. Not direct hit.
They're not in the Atlantic hurricane belt, they say. But that doesn't mean they don't get storms.
So are the ABC islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao.
But it's not hurricane season anyway. We'd only go in the spring.
True. Hurricane season's June to November.
I think I could actually do everything I do. You wouldn't know that I wasn't. In fact, I'll get a green screen. I might be there right now. You don't know.
That's what everyone's doing these days.
I know. Well, that's what gave us the idea. We have a client, one of our advertisers. She's talking to the chief marketing officer. He's in Barbados.
Can you blame him?
No.
I watched a news program, France 24, last night on YouTube, and they were talking about all these digital nomads living in Thailand.
I don't want to go to Thailand. Vietnam. That's a crazy.
$500.
Vietnam's nice though. Yeah.
A room for a month in a nice apartment.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah. I see people correcting me about the 8-inch. I did correct that.
8-inch thick. You corrected it. You said it. I asked it 8-inch, 8 foot. What? Yeah. And you said no, 8 inches. You said that. You corrected it.
So, all right. I hope you have a good week.
Johnny, you're giving me hope.
There's definitely hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. I think what's going to happen.
My dad got a second shot, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
And no
adverse effects. Good.
No?
My thinking is it's going to accelerate. Like it's like a train pulling out of the station. It's really slow right now, but it's getting faster, faster. More vacuum, more vacuum. And then in 6 months, it's going to be like crazy time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for that. I'm praying, and I'm optimistic.
Yep.
So
Barbados is like actually Aruba's fastest. Then there's Cayman Islands, Barbados, Puerto Rico, Grenada, Bahamas. So Barbados is pretty good up there. It's as good as the Cayman Islands. Why is Aruba so good? Would you would you live in Aruba?
I've been to Aruba.
Aruba, Jamaica.
The problem with Aruba is there's just too many fast food chains from America.
Oh, I don't want that. It's Dutch. I think I'm going to go to, Barbados.
I would do Barbados.
Thank you, Johnny.
Take care.
See ya. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo. All right, I got some help from our chat room. Retcon, who is a IT guy, works at a big company, has a lot of people with old Macs, I guess. He says, yes, you can upgrade that 2012. So for our gardener listening, you can upgrade that 2012 MacBook all the way up to, I wouldn't go Big Sur, but you can get a more modern version. So that's good news. You might need more memory, but it's easy to put more memory in it. 4 gigs, I think, might work. So the latest version is 10.15.7. So that's, you go to El Capitan. So here's the trick. What you wanted to know, you can help me now, Retcon, in the chat room. What you wanted to know is how to do it. Now, nowadays, it's easy. You go to the App Store. And now that Apple has an App Store, under the Apple, you go to the App Store and you say, give me Catalina, and you can install it. She might need more RAM. Okay. So instead of buying a whole new computer, because that computer isn't that old. I mean, it is, but times haven't changed that much. Put a little more memory into it. You can do that yourself if you feel comfortable. Go to any of the memory places will have. Actually, here's where I would go. I would go to Otherworld Computing, MacSales.com. They sell upgrades for that MacBook, and they have videos. They give you the tools. You can get a better hard drive if you want a faster hard drive. You can get a better, more RAM, which you're going to need, and then you can upgrade the operating system to Catalina, and then. I wouldn't go to Big Sur. I would stop at Catalina. And then you could put Zoom on it. So really, that computer with a little TLC can be upgraded to the point where it's very usable with Zoom. There's some things you won't be able to do, like the virtual cameras. You need a faster machine for that. But that's fine. So the first thing you have to do is get to 10.11, 10.11, which I think is Snow Leopard, and then you're going to have to upgrade that to a more recent version. You'll have to download Snow Leopard from Apple. They have instructions there for putting on a USB key and upgrade it. So the steps are going to be upgrade the hardware first, get more RAM. Again, Otherworld Computing, they'll explain how to do that. Or iFixit.com, they've got videos. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, I bet your welder boyfriend will feel comfortable doing it. Tell him not to use any welding tools on it, though. But if you're not comfortable, but you can always go to a Mac store and have them do it. They'll even upgrade the operating system, I bet, if you ask them nice. And then you can use it. We'll put Retcon. Thank you for the information. Thank you, Scooter X. We'll put all of this in the show notes. James DeRuvo is writing all this down. It'll all be online at techguylabs.com. We'll put a little step-by-step up there for you. Dave is next in Los Angeles. Hi, Dave. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Oh, hi, Leo. You were talking about WordStar from the 80s.
You remember that?
Well, no, but from the 80s, I wanted to throw in when I was in the Navy around 83. we had this most wonderful machine. It was tough as nails. It was the 860 Xerox 860 word processor.
Oh yeah, was that the Star or was it earlier than that? Xerox 860.
Xerox 860 is what I know. We got him. At the time, I was serving on board an aircraft squadron out in North.
And it had a vertical monitor, right? That looked like a page of paper on it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It was like about 9 by 12. It was looked like a piece of paper. Sure.
It was one of the first. They call it WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Word processors. It actually looked like the document that you were creating.
It was a wonderful screen. Had 2 5-inch floppy disk drives.
2. Count them. 2.
I don't believe the machine had any memory at all.
Yeah.
Right, you put one disk in for the operating system, whether word processing or records processing, and then the other disk was your data or the documents or whatever that you had. Yes, and it was a wonderful machine and tough as nails because we're an aircraft squadron, and the Navy invested big time in these for all the.
They were expensive. They were $14,000 each. Yeah.
$10,000.
Yeah.
They were about $10,000 a piece, and they had to move from shore to sea operations and carriers and back again.
Wow!
And all the rest of it. And at the time, the Navy was semi-computerized. I was a personnel specialist myself, and all of our work was primarily on OCR documents. Okay.
So they had paper, and you would convert them to digital documents.
Right. Exactly. Optical character readout. That the original page goes in a special transmittal envelope, gets mailed off to Washington, where it's read into a mainframe somewhere.
Wow!
And then we get sent back
the copy,
computerized reports, and all this, and all the stuff we need.
You can do all of that on your phone now. It's kind of amazing how far we've come. It's amazing.
And like even phone service. You were ex-service, aren't you?
No, I'm not. But it sounds like you got to play with some pretty good toys there. I'm impressed.
Well, the Xerox 8. Well, before that, the only thing what we used to use was the IBM 3 typewriter with the little ball.
Oh yeah, I had a Selectric. Those are nice. I love those. I kind of want to get them again because it's the only way you can really do an envelope easily.
Well, they were great, but the Xerox 860 that revolutionized everything.
That's awesome.
Right down. It was fantastic. So, when you were talking about the old 80s word processors.
Those are the days. We've come a long way. Thank you for your service. And, David, thanks for the trip down memory lane.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate it. A lot of fun. Take care. It's $14,000 for those 860s, and it was the first really WYSIWYG. We got used to that. Xerox later created the Xerox Star. Actually, before then, they created the Star. This was kind of an inexpensive version of the Star, which was the inspiration for the Macintosh. Those were the days. Tom in Riverside, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Tom. Tom, are you there? Hello, Tom. I think he's there because I hear noise, but he might have wandered away from the phone. I'll put you back on hold. He says he's looking for an iPad. All right, well, I can help. I should mention this. There's some very interesting rumors about what Apple's going to do this year. I don't think they're going to announce anything at the earliest till March, but I think we are due for new iPads, particularly an iPad Pro. I think we're going to start to see new Apple Mac stuff with their new chips, including iMacs. That might be June. New MacBooks, new designs. So if you can wait, this is often the case with computing, but especially the case with Apple. If you can wait to buy, actually, for a Mac, I would wait. If you need an iPad right now, they did update the iPad Air very recently, just a couple of months ago, and it's a nice deal. That's probably the one I'd recommend, if that's what your question is. But I'll tell you what, I'll put you on hold. No, I think he's gone. Yeah, we lost him. Oh, well. If that was what your question was, yes, the new iPad Air, very nice. And yes, using an Apple TV, you can put it on a big screen. He said he wanted to put it on a big screen. Apple TV would help you do that. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. More of your calls coming up right after this. Stay here. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography. We've got your smartphones. We've got your smartwatches. We got it all. Your augmented reality, your virtual reality. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. I think we got Tom back. Tom, are you there now?
Yeah.
Yay.
I checked out. I got up early and I checked out unexpectedly there.
Oh, well, I hope you had a nice nap.
Yeah, it was kind of warm out here. I'm down here in
nice
Riverside.
Nice.
Kind of warmed up today.
I will never criticize somebody for falling asleep. I think sleep is the best thing. I love it.
A nap is a good idea.
It's
we should be doing that. And I was going to say a couple things. When things go wrong, that's when we learn.
That's right.
Things that went wrong, and so it's not all bad. And really, like you're just saying, it's time. Maybe this is something we need to think about. Maybe we need a nap. We need a year off. We
kind of got one, whether we need it or not. We kind of got one, didn't we?
There's a lot of people checked out, for good, And
that's the long nap. That's the one I don't want to go on.
That's a serious, it's a serious situation, and if worse things could happen than just taking a year off. So. Anyway, I get back to my situation. But
I do want to say, Tom, I like your attitude. That's a very good attitude. Stay safe, stay healthy. There are worse things than a little year off.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt anybody. It would be probably a good thing. We might really have a revelation if we took a year and we could make use of that year at home. And people, if they graduated a year later, it really wouldn't kill us.
It's tough, but we have a senior in high school, and he's not going to get to walk with his classmates. But he's got a good spirit about the whole thing. I think he understands. Next time,
next time. Next year, it wouldn't hurt anybody.
I told him you got to go to college, then you could walk in college.
yeah. I mean, there's worse things. But
what can I do for you?
I'm not very savvy in the tech world. As far as computers go, I need. I've got an opportunity here to gear up, and I need your information to spend some money.
Good.
So I'm looking at mainly. I'm kind of looking towards the iPad, the iPhone. A printer, a monitor, because the iPad probably isn't going to be that great at home.
What is it that you? Let me start at the other end of the equation.
Okay.
What is it you want to do?
Everything. Yeah. Well, I need to do a little bit of everything. I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
But I would.
But
like
do you want to do email? Do you want to surf the web? You want to buy books online? What is it?
Not so much that I'm more interested in life. I've worked in manufacturing, so I'm a maintenance mainly a maintenance mechanic, and I've never did this. Of course, I haven't really worked much in the last 10 years, but the iPad, the iPhone could all be used with Fluke, if you probably are very familiar with Fluke.
Yes, the multimeters. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the multimeters. And of course, they're the leader.
It's really interesting how that's one of the things that I think a lot of us don't experience, but in your field of work, the interface between these devices and then your tools, your multimeters or other things, because really what you're doing is you're taking a multimeter and attaching a really powerful computer to it.
Right.
You get a bigger screen, but also you get memory. You get, that's kind of interesting. It enhances whatever it's connected to in some interesting ways.
Yeah.
Does Fluke offer an app?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's apps for their different instruments, and they're of course Fluke is by far the leader in the world, and and they took it over about when I started in maintenance about 35, 40.
It's interesting to see how
ago,
companies like this, which is this is a old time company, they've been around a long time, have adapted to the new digital world. They actually have an iOS app. I think that's great.
Garage, like a lot of others,
Yeah. Well, nowadays you need a computer if you want to work on a car. That's for sure. So, so I would start with a little slower than you sound like. I wouldn't go out and buy everything all at once. An iPhone and an iPad are similar. They're both running roughly the same operating system. One's a bigger version of the other. Pick one and get used to that first, and then you'll have a better idea of what you want to buy in another one. I'd start with an iPhone. Do you have a smartphone right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I would start with an iPhone for sure. Now I know your main question was getting it to a big monitor, and that might require, you don't have to, depends on what you're doing. The easiest way to do that with any Apple device is to get what's called an Apple TV. It's a little box, about $169, and you connect it up to your TV, any TV, and now you can use a technology Apple calls AirPlay to take the screen from your iPhone, from your iPad, from your Macintosh, and put it up on that big screen.
Okay.
I use that all the time. It's a very well-designed, thoughtful feature. If you said, let's say you're using one of your Fluke meters and you want to put that up on a big screen, that's how you would do it. It'd be the easiest way to do it. You connect it to your iPhone using the Fluke app, and then you could AirPlay it to your TV. There is a technology Google supports called casting or Chromecasting, and some apps on the iPhone will also cast, but not all. AirPlay is the only one that will guarantee that you could put anything that's on your iPhone up on the big screen. Almost anything. There have been some exceptions.
Okay, but now when you buy this Apple TV, it's just the interface.
It's a box
between.
Yeah, it takes your TV and makes it internet savvy.
It's not the monitor.
No, it doesn't include a monitor. You still need a monitor. Yep.
So what kind
Actually, if you haven't bought a if you haven't bought a TV yet, good news.
No.
There are a number of TVs that support AirPlay that have Apple TVs built in. A number of companies do this. So that's, if you're looking for a monitor, I would probably look at a Vizio or something. I think Samsung is doing it. A lot of them come now with Apple TV apps. So a Vizio SmartCast TV, for instance, would allow you to stream anything from your iPad or your iPhone onto the big screen TV.
Okay, Vizio SmartCast. I got that wrote down now.
I think those are affordable, and they're really good, and they're nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and
you can also watch TV on it, by the way. It's a TV.
Yeah, that would be another thing. I might
nice feature.
Because I'm not much into TV. I don't watch TV for the most part. I had a TV I bought years ago, and I just set it aside because, we ain't living in the same world we were.
Do you know what I love about you, Tom? You're a philosopher. I could tell you are a philosopher at heart. So I think you're going to have fun. Start, if you like the iPad and you like a bigger screen, you could start with that. I wouldn't run out and get an Apple TV, an iPad, and an iPhone all at once. That's going to cost a couple of $1,000. Start look at an iPhone. I think you'll be amazed what you could do with an iPhone.
Yeah, I've looked a little bit at it. Just I'm familiar with everything now. I do know the models, and the 12 I would get, and I didn't want to buy something second rate because then you turn around and say, I should have bought that.
Nothing Apple sells is second rate.
Yeah,
and you know that when you look at the price tag. They don't sell. They don't sell doorbuster deals. They're a premium price product, and everything they sell is premium. If you got I would get an iPhone. Is the Fluke app available on the iPhone? I'm sure it is.
Yes.
Check and see.
Oh, yes.
I would get an iPhone. You could then cast that to your big screen, and you'd see those meters in all their glorious color. I think that'd be a very good choice.
I've looked at them too much over the years today.
Your eyesight's probably going bad with that. Yeah. No, I think this is interesting. Yeah. I didn't even know that. Of course, I've used multimeters from Fluke for years. I had no idea they had an app. That's really cool. That's really cool. Start with that, and if the iPad is also a very good choice. The new iPad Air, I mentioned this the last hour. You probably napped through it, but the new iPad Air is very good too. That's about $600. The iPhone's about as much as twice that, $1,000 to $1,200. Pick one. If you don't have a smartphone, I'd start with a smartphone. That's kind of the Swiss Army knife these days for everybody. It's been quite a revolution, really, the iPhone and the smartphone in general, but the iPhone for sure. Hey, nice to talk to you. Philosopher Tom, call back again. I'd love to talk to you again. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. Rick on the line from Riverside, California. Hello, Rick. Are you there, Rick? I think Rick is also napping. It's a beautiful day in Riverside. Everybody's napping. Hi, Kyle in Anaheim. Are you there, Kyle?
Yeah. Hi,
oh, good.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, thank you for the show. It's very informative.
Thank you. I'm glad you listen. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I do have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
First one, they're kind of related. So, with the whole COVID thing, I've been working from home, and I'm trying to find, a good resource to kind of have like a home office network security.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I'm so new to it. I'm like, this is company information. I do have my own information as well. And so I'm like, what can I use to protect all that?
That's a great
visitors coming at home.
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's my first question.
Yeah, and a lot of businesses are grappling with this. Does your company have its own security? If you were in the office, would you feel more secure?
Oh yeah. They have their own network, but then also working from home, they have like this security software that kind of monitors everything.
Sure. So they are already doing what they can to protect you.
Oh, yeah.
They're using what we call endpoint security on your laptop or your desktop and all that.
Okay.
That's one thing. You don't want to put something on your systems that will conflict with that. If they're already doing that, what I would do is talk to your IT department and say, is there anything else I should do? Now, if you didn't have that, then if it were all on you, then I would say there are a number of things that you could do to protect yourself. If you're on your home network, which I presume you are there other devices on your home network, IoT devices or other users, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I do have, my personal computer, and I've been thinking about starting my own little business too, like a hustle.
So one way you could do this is to separate the company assets away from your home network. The presumption sometimes is that the home network is a little less secure. IoT devices sometimes can be gateways for bad guys into your network, things like that. So isolating your home computer from your work computer isn't a bad idea. This is a little tricky, but you can using, basically you're going to want to create something called a virtual local area network, or a VLAN. And what it does is we're segmenting your network into two. I do this actually at home. I have a VLAN for all the IoT devices, all the kind of dumb but internet-connected devices. I have an internet-connected toaster oven, for instance. I don't know how secure that is. I don't want that on the same network as my computers. So I separate them. I segment my network. And this is something your IT guys at work are probably doing as well. They segment stuff out so that traffic can't go from one segment to the other segment. It's blocked by a firewall or just by the nature of the VLAN. That's one thing you can do. do. Then the second thing you might want to do, if you've segmented your network so that you're on one part and the rest of your house is on the other part, is then maybe use something to protect the segment that you're on. Sometimes people use smart routers or firewalls. There's a company called PF Sense that makes a firewall that can protect you better. You know, you don't want to spend the money your company probably does on enterprise protection. Those can be very expensive. But you might ask the IT guys what they have to do that. I use a service that's not expensive at all called DNS. NextDNS.io, NextDNS.io. I do recommend that. It has malware protection. It has ad blocking if you want to use that. It's fairly inexpensive. They have a free tier, but if you end up using it a lot, you can get the $1.99 a month or $20 a year tier, which gives you unlimited use with unlimited devices. I find that I pay for it. It's well worth it from my point of view because it blocks a lot of malware. Things like attachments, you know, things like that. That's a very inexpensive, easy thing you can do. So those are the two I would recommend. Segment your network. Keep your business computer away from your home stuff. That's good all around, just good hygiene. And then, of course, the third thing, I guess, is make sure you've got a good backup. I'm sure work is doing that for you.
Oh, yeah, they definitely do that. Yeah. The other question that I have, it's like, how do you, you know, because I'm thinking about, you know, starting my own hustle. Do you have any recommendation in terms of, you know, trading, you know, trading stocks and stuff like that, you know?
Oh, don't ask me about that. Are you on Wall Street Bets on Reddit? Are you following all of that? I've
been listening.
Because I am a tech journalist, I actually don't own individual stocks. I don't allow myself, especially tech stocks. I don't want to have any concern that I'm promoting something that I make money on. So I want to make that very clear. And I'll be honest with you. I don't understand the stock market at all. It looks nuts to me, especially when you see something like GameStop, which is a company that really has no future at all, go through the roof and then back down, or you see Bitcoin at $40,000. So you're asking the wrong guy. I stay well away from that because I don't get it and I don't want to. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. That's hysterical. No, don't ask me for that. I don't know. You know what I do? I recommend everybody do, and it's boring. It's really boring, especially if you're young. You know, if you have a little bit of money you don't mind losing, you can gamble on the stock market, and there are lots of tools that will let you do that. But what I would suggest you do is sock away as much as you can into simplest thing, the S&P 500, into a low-cost, Vanguard's very good for this, indexed mutual fund. They're low cost because they're not managed. And just let it sit. There'll be ups and downs. Don't get excited. Don't even pay attention. Put it in now. Put a little bit in every month, $1,000 a month if you can afford it. You start at 30. By the time you're my age, you'll have millions of dollars in the bank. It's boring. There's no challenge. It's the simplest thing in the world. And it's the safest thing in the world. Highly recommend that. That's my tip to you. This is great music. Before you were born. But when you hear somebody go, you know what that is. Ooh, you might never get rich, but you will have a clean car. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo, the phone number. Dick DeBartolo, our Gizmo Wizards, coming up in just a little bit. But meanwhile, let's say hi to Patrick. He's on the line from Redding, California. Hi, Patrick.
Hello, Leo.
Hello, Patrick. What can I do for you?
There, I took you off speaker. I want to do DVR for just local TV and do cord cutting.
Yes. Who doesn't? Man, these cable bills are outrageous.
Yeah, just went up another $5.
It just drives me nuts. So, You're in Reading. You can get the local stations you want with an antenna?
Yeah.
Good. So really, you're just figuring out how can I, you can watch everything you want over the antenna. It's free. It's actually the best quality HD out there because they don't compress it as much as satellite and cable does. But the deal is, you're not going to have a cable company DVR. So there's a couple of companies that sell what they call, this is OTA, over the air, right? There's a couple of companies that sell OTA DVRs, EIEIO. There's Channel Master. They're very good. And the one I use, which I really like, is from Silicon Dust. It's called HD Home Run. Both of them are very good DVRs. They'll work with your TV antenna. If you go to channelmaster.com, they have a whole section on OTA DVR. A lot of people in the chat room use both, are users of either. Silicon Dust makes the HD Home Run, same idea. Maybe a little bit more. The idea of the Silicon Dust is kind of, it works with your network. So it's nice because you can put an HD Home Run in a closet somewhere, connect it up to the antenna, and then stream from that to every TV in your house using Roku or Fire TV. I
have a Firebox.
Perfect. So everything, because it's going to get it over the network. So what the Home Run does is it puts it on your house's network, and then you can use the Firebox. It has an app. There's an HD Home Run app on there.
It puts it onto my cable.
Yep. So that's the most flexible if you don't mind spending some energy setting that all up. Channel Master is a box more like your what you've got now from your cable company. It's just designed to hook up to the antenna.
What's the monthly charge on that?
It depends. Because you need the channel guide, and that's the one thing that in both cases, I don't think I'm thinking Channel Master does not charge. And I think HD Home Run does. And it's a few bucks a month. But you're getting the guide from them.
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit. It's getting up to near $100.
Yeah. I think as I remember, and I don't use it, so I'm going to ask anybody in the chat room if they pay for the guide. I think not. I think but HD Home Run you do. You have to subscribe to a channel guide. And that's because otherwise you get that, that's part of your cable subscription fee. But now that you don't have cable anymore, you have to download the guide. The other way that you could look at, not going to be as good as the antenna, but I've mentioned this a couple of times, is Locast, LOCAST.org. And it will give you free locals. I don't know if in Reading you can get the San Francisco. You can get the Sacramento locals. So that's your closest. So you can get the Sacramento locals. But I think probably what you want is Channel Master. It's a standalone DVR if you don't need the networking. And I don't think as I remember, they don't charge you for the cable guide, the TV guide.
I was going to ask another question.
Sure.
What about a password manager?
Well, there's many choices. Any password manager is better than none. All password managers do roughly the same thing. They keep track of your passwords. You have one password that you have to memorize. That's the one that unlocks the vault. And in the vault, you have all the other passwords. A good password manager's going to make sure that you use unique passwords everywhere you go. It'll have a password generator in there that'll generate passwords. You'll look at them and go, well, it's good I don't have to remember that. That's gobbledygook. That's what you want. A good one will have the ability to work on all your devices. If you have a phone as well as a laptop, as well as a desktop and a tablet, it'll work everywhere. For a long time, our sponsor was LastPass. They're very good. They're kind of the all-in-one. They're not very expensive. I think $36 a year, as I remember. There's another one that I also like a lot. It's a little simpler, but it's open source, which I think is a good idea because then you can see what they're doing. And it's even less expensive. It's called Bitwarden, bitwarden.com, Bitwarden. I think one or the other. LastPass, I'm giving you two for both questions. I'm giving you two answers. LastPass is kind of does everything.
Options.
Yeah, it does everything. You can, by the way, both of them you can try for free. It works everywhere. It's got a lot of additional features. I'm excited by Bitwarden. They just added some new features that kind of give it more parity with LastPass. If I had to pick one, I'd use Bitwarden.
One at a time.
Say again?
Can I go back to my original question?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Air TV?
AIR?
Yes.
No, I have not. What is that? Stream local TV in HD. Okay. Oh, it's from Dish. Oh, this is Dish. Yeah.
It says that I would need external storage, and I can do it on my Firebox. While I was Googling stuff, can I put you on speaker real quick?
Sure. Yeah, I think this, I am not familiar with this. I'm looking at it. It's from the folks who do Sling TV, which is Dish, and that's why they mention Sling TV. The idea is you're going to subscribe to Sling as well as get the over-the-air stuff. I think if you want what's on Sling, this is a good thing, but Sling is an over-the-top internet broadcast solution as opposed to over-the-air OTT versus OTA. There's another one the chat room reminds me that I don't talk about much, but is highly recommended. Is from Tablo, Tablo TV. And so, somebody in the chat room says, I really like my Tablo. I have to say Air TV, because it's from Dish, they're going to be subscription focused. They're going to really...
This is an article that I'm reading from Cision Newswire.
Okay, Cision's okay, yeah.
It says, Air TV launches free local channel DVR. Features allow user to watch live or recorded channels in
that's nice.
In and out of the home.
If it's free, I like it.
New local channels, DVR features, record.
This is new to me. I think Dish is using this as a way to get people to, eventually up market them to Sling. But I would take a look at this. Yeah, looks like they have a streamer.
I would have to get where to go. I have to stream down.
You don't have to have a subscription to Sling, which is good. But they say, to enhance your experience, add a Sling subscription. So I think that this is their way, and you may get a lot of ads on this thing because it's from the Sling folks. They may. This is often the case. I'm going to use a Fire TV. As you might have noticed, they kind of keep promoting Amazon in there. These are all good solutions. This is the coming thing. What the thing to remember is we're in this in between time where we're actually changing how people watch TV. And so as a result, when it's a disruption like this, prices are all over the place, products are all over the place, there's no general consensus. It's a little confusing, and it's going to be that way for a few years. In the long run, I'm not that bullish on cable TV. I think one of the reasons the price is going up, they know their business is going down. RCA makes an HDMI DVR, records to portable hard drive. No subscription, costs $60. That sounds like a good solution too. Yeah, that sounds good too. So obviously there's a lot of ways to do this. Freak out. Niles Rogers on the guitar there. Le Chic. They were best new artists on the Grammy Awards in I don't know what year that was. And it was kind of weird because you thought they might be the best new artist, but I don't think they're going to be around next year. And sure enough, they weren't. Hello, Dick DeBartolo, Mad's Maddest writer, and our Gizmo wizard, the Giz Wiz. How are you?
I'm good, sir. And you?
I am very well.
Are you putting on suntan lotion?
I'm in California, baby. I don't have to. I'm not under 16 inches, 17 inches of snow like you are.
Well, fortunately, it melted a bit, but we're supposed to get another 4 to 6 inches tonight.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Wow. I'm tired of it already. I am tired of it.
Wow.
But I'm not ready to move to any tropical space.
Well, that's what we were talking. I was talking about with Johnny Jett. I said, do you know anything about Barbados? He says, very nice. They have a special move to Barbados visa where you can stay there for a year and work there for a year. And we have a friend who's done that. And he's like on the beach. He says it's great. They have good internet. I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
Well, you should certainly try it for a month or two to see.
That's exactly. I wouldn't do it for a year, just, until this whole COVID thing blows over.
Oh, it's got to be that could be another year.
Good Lord, don't say that. Every week, Dick joins us to show off some gizmo or gadget that he has found. That's why he's our gizmo wizard, or Giz Wiz.
Yeah.
What do you have this week?
Okay, well, you know what? There is another show in Vegas during CES called Food Tech.
Ooh.
And they do their show the third night. We go to Showstoppers, we go to Pepcom, and then the third night there's Food Tech.
How come you never told me about this? I never heard of this.
This is only their third year, and the first year was dreadful. They had 5 people showing stuff.
Oh dear.
The second year they had about a dozen. This year it was virtual, and they had about 20.
Okay.
And I thought this was kind of interesting. It is a product called BonBowl, BonBowl, and it is a mini induction cooker.
Oh, I like this idea. Instead of having a gas burner or an electric heater, you have it kind of like your phone charger, a magnetic induction charger. You have to have pans that are magnetic for to work.
It comes with its own pan, and the object here is it's double insulated bowl.
Oh, it comes with its own bowl.
It comes with its own bowl, and you cook and eat out of the same bowl. Okay,
so it's about saving dishes, is what this is about.
Yes, exactly. Also, it's tiny. It's 8 inches by 8 inches.
So this is for a student, or somebody.
It's great for a dorm
instead of a hot plate.
Yeah, it's if you have a camper, an RV, and I said to the guy, since it's so small, most of them need their own line. He said, no, this one is only 500 watts. So
that's not even as much as a hairdryer.
No, but I said, can you use anything other than your bowl? Oh. And he said, you cannot. You see, there's that little.
You have to use the bowl. Oh,
yeah. He said,
and what is this? Is this like a ramen maker?
Well, you can cook anything on their website. You can make eggs. You can do pasta in it. You can do lots of cooking.
This is definitely for my son. This is a college kid thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you can eat out of the same bowl you cook in? That's great.
Yes, exactly. And when you order the bowl, you order stainless or you order Teflon if you don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning the bowl. So that would be for him. So it's insulated on the outside. Take it right off the induction cooker.
The Bachelor Bowl is what this is.
There you go. That's what they. Now the thing is, it's very expensive. I was a little disappointed by the price.
How much?
$149.
Oh. Well.
So
but it includes the bowl, right?
And the bowl, and you get a storage lid in case you don't need everything that you cooked. And free shipping anywhere in the U.S., continental U.S.
I'm intrigued by induction stovetops because they don't get hot.
No, you know what? I am amazed that they haven't caught on bigger than they are.
Do you have one?
I have one in the warehouse because I don't have enough space to put it anywhere.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
When it first came out and I brought it on Regis, they said, Dick, put ice cubes all around the bowl and then show Regis you can boil the water.
But the ice cubes stay frozen.
The ice cubes will stay frozen.
Because the heat is generated in the pot. There's not, the stovetop is going to get a little hot because of the pot on it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of clever.
And you don't have one? I would think you would.
No, we've thought we have a gas stovetop, but we were thinking if we ever replaced it, we'd get an induction. But I'd have to get all new pans because you have to need iron pans. Or
something
pans.
magnetic.
Yeah.
That would do.
Yeah, all my stainless doesn't work.
Oh.
Get all new pans.
Stainless. Okay, I thought stainless. Isn't stainless magnetic?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. I know because I tried my pans and nothing. I can't. Nothing happens.
Oh,
they just sit there and they don't get more. But you don't have to worry about that with BonBowl because you can't use your pans. You have to use their special bowl. And you better eat fast because you can't cook anymore. It's like for one person, right? Obviously,
it is a meal for one. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's a clever idea.
Yeah, BonBowl. And now, if you want to know more about this, here's the easiest thing. You just go to gizwiz.biz. That's Dick's website, GIZWIZ.biz, and you click the button with my head on it. It says, the Giz Wiz visits the tech guy. That's what's happening right now. He's visiting. Click that, and then you can see the BonBowl and everything else he's mentioned. He also goes on World News Now on ABC, so you can click that button and see what he showed on World News Now. Are you going to bring a whole bunch of food stuff to World News Now?
I'm going to do it from here. So
right. You don't bring it. Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
No more. Next week I have something big that you might like. I might talk you into.
Yeah, because I ain't buying the BonBowl.
I know. No,
unless my wife kicks me out and I have to live in a hotel somewhere.
You cook stuff.
I actually like to cook things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can also play the What the Heck Is It contest. He's got some sort of weird aluminum gizmo or gadget. It's a close-up picture. Read the rules, but he's given away 16 copies? 18 copies of Mad Magazine, autographed with his own little hand. You don't use an auto pen to do that, right?
No, not at all. No. Man of my caliber?
What caliber is that? You look like you're 44 cal. So, do you draw the little Madly thing? You just do that?
I do the Madly on every issue.
That's a lot of work.
That I autograph.
That's a lot of work. But you did. That's really nice. It says, "Hi, Leo." Yours won't say "Hi, Leo," unless your name is Leo. Madly, Dick DeBartolo. That is a nice prize. If you can earn that, all you have to do is figure out what the heck that close-up picture of a gizmo or gadget is. Click the button that says, "What the heck is it?" While you're at gizwiz.biz, Dick has a lot of other stuff. He's trying to he's trying to sell his old gadgets. He's got Giz Wiz garbage.
My old gadgets go to an animal
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Raise money because he loves animals.
And thanks to you, I raised $1,500 selling my books, and I sent that on to the Actors Fund.
Oh, that's great. You were selling the Good Days in Mad book?
Yeah.
Are there any left?
Stuff. Maybe just a case and a half.
So, actually, it's a great gift if you love Mad. Who doesn't love Mad Magazine? It's a great gift. Go to his website, gizwiz.biz. He also has a fabulous podcast he does with Chad Johnson called The Giz Wiz, interestingly enough. And that's at gizwiz.tv.
Perfect.
Dickie D, stay safe, stay well, stay warm. Don't get buried under this avalanche of snow coming your way, and we will see you next week.
I'll be here.
That's it for me. Have a safe Geek Week. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, TWiT, TWiT. It stands for This Week in Tech, and you'll find it at twit.tv, including the podcasts for this show. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on Mac Break Weekly, iPads, iPhones, Apple Watches on iOS Today, security on Security Now. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And, of course, the big show every Sunday afternoon, This Week in Tech. You'll find it all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next week with another great Tech Guys show. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.